have is Larry. And Larry, I am trying to bring you up now.
Come on, can you hear me?
There you go. You're there, Larry.
Okay, a couple things real quick. One, what do you do about the people that, or the powers that be, that control some extremely dangerous, powerful weapons that have the attitude of, if I can't have it, nobody will, and you all are dead? Number two, what do you do about the 500,000 plus foreign troops on American soil that will not give a rat's behind about the Constitution and are in control of some extremely lethal jets and weapons that go on those jets?
Well, for one
I know
thing,
they're here. Okay, I've seen them, and they hate us.
Yeah, for one thing, those foreign troops are mercenaries, and they're there to be paid. And when there's no money to pay them, they don't play for free. They go off someplace else in the world where they will get paid.
They're more than just mercenaries. Some of them are Luftwaffe, and some of them are actual pilots from Singapore that are in the Singapore Air Force, and then also Russian and Canadian. It's actual countries that have made a deal with traders in this country that control politics.
Yeah, but you don't
people.
understand that when this happens, the hands which are currently in control and pushing buttons and making deals and signing papers will no longer be able to do that.
Well, let's hope so, because I'll tell you what, I've met these people. I've had a German tell me right to my face he can't wait till the day he gets to kill people like me. And that's no BS. That's downright truth. I'll tell you, these people are not nice people. They came here knowing full well eventually they'd be used to kill Americans, and they relish the idea.
Well, there's one problem with that, and that is known as to who they are, not only being aware of them, but they also have people tactically in position to take them out if they decide to act funny in any way. So, yes, as I alluded to earlier, there may be some people that don't go peaceably, and that's their problem, not ours.
Yeah. I did tell him straight to his eyeballs. I said, partner, there are a lot of people like me that'll drop you dead. And you better remember, Americans have guns. They shoot back.
Right.
He just kind of unflinching. He didn't even flinch. It didn't bother him. I mean, it's just some of these people.
We have to keep in mind that, you know, it's naive to think that all of this is going to be accomplished without any measure of chaos whatsoever or no lives lost. That's not going to happen. The best we can hope for is to minimize.
Minimize, yes, yes. Well, just know this, there are a lot of people down in Texas that ain't going to put up with no foreign troops. Whatever that's worth, you know, just... But anyway, the powers that be that have those little powerful toys, one of them's a red button. That's kind of scary, okay? And you know what button I'm talking about.
Yes, we do.
And it's like, you know, they do have an attitude like a little kid. It's my toys, and I'm going to break my toys if I can't have them. So
these people will become inconsequential.
Okay. That was just something I had to ask because I know about these people, and they ain't nice. They don't even fear God.
There are manners to take care of the operational capability of almost every weapon you can think of.
What do you do about the soldiers overseas, by the way?
It doesn't matter where they're located. This is a global effort, not just us.
Okay.
That makes a difference. In other words, people need to quit confining their thinking to certain specifics of this, that, or something else. What they need to do is understand that we're not alone in this, first of all. And secondly, you've got some of the major powers, to include the people who are assumed to be our enemies, who are on board with the idea. And it's part of the shock that's coming. Everybody needs to get ready for a real shocker. So, you know. Okay.
Because you know, and don't get me wrong, and because I listen to you and you're saying these things, but you know, I have my questions because I know they have many tricks up their sleeve, including they have manned weapons in space that, you know, those people, man, if they have orders, if things go wrong, they open fire. I mean, it's like 100 pounds of depleted uranium hurtling through the atmosphere. I've seen what a small amount of depleted uranium does. I hate to think about 100 pounds. It just, you know, there's all sorts of stuff, and that's minor. I mean, that doesn't even, I mean, that's child's play compared to some of the other stuff they have that, man, these people are scary that you're going to remove, man. But good luck. God bless. May God be with you on this, because we're going to need it. That's all I have. But thanks for taking my call, Deidre and Terry and Drake, and may God bless y'all.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you for calling in. We're going to go ahead and continue on with our comments, questions from our listeners. I'm working right now to bring Barry up online. Barry, can you
I'm right here.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody.
Barry, go ahead, honey.
Drake, I've been watching the chat room, and there's this Eagle 21 guy that's calling you a deceiver, that you talk to handlers, and I wish this Eagle 21 would call in if he wants to question your what you're saying. I'm retired military, and I talked to one of my buddies that are in. And do you remember when they misplaced some nukes and they found them in Louisiana, or they were supposed to go to Louisiana? He said there's good guys and there's bad guys in the military, and the good guys stopped them because they were going to use them or try to use them later on. Do you know anything about that intel?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of things going on of that nature, including the guy that was just on about the funny weapons and people outside and all this other stuff. What you have to remember is this. Most of the intel that would hide those people has been revealed to the good guys. So they not only know who, they know where, and they're going to be kind of screwed when the airplane don't start or the tank won't go or et cetera. You know, you push the button to fire the missile and it sits there and fizzles. This is going to be extraordinarily frustrating to the bad guys. So, you know, I would suggest that the good guys are running somewhere in the neighborhood of 80% minimum in the military now, to include command. So I would not be too overtly concerned with it.
Yeah, this person that's doubting you in the chat room, he's quoting a lot of scriptures, and he's saying that you're one of the deceivers that are spoken in the prophecy in the last days. Well, I'm just challenging him to come on and to talk to you instead of just, you know, putting you down in the chat room. I mean, it's easy to do that, but you know, I thank you for what you guys are doing, and time will tell. Time will tell.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Barry. Thank you for your call.
Have a nice day.
Okay. You too. Okay, we're going to move on to our next caller, and that would be Robin. Robin, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay.
I have a question for Drake. Maybe it's for also Terry, too. This is on the Nation States Project. In my state, we have a group meeting tomorrow to do the paperwork. Looks like we will have 6 signers. We're wondering why 5 to 7 signers, and there are a couple people who won't be able to attend the meeting. We could possibly pass these packages around through the mails or whatever to get a couple of extra signatures, but we're wondering, would it be worth doing that, or is time of the essence here? What happens to the states who don't have their paperwork done or finished if this all comes down?
They'll be allowed to come in. It's not a problem. The problem is waking people up. An action of this level will definitely wake people up, and they can join us without a problem. They need to basically go through the same process so that they can be recognized as an official territory, and then as their paperwork comes back, they become a state, and a sovereign one and a free state, and that's basically where that lies.
Okay, thank you. Could you elaborate then? So we would be considered a territory until we got our paperwork done. Is that correct? Is that the cushion that was submitted with the big box that went to The Hague?
That's a part of it.
Yeah, that was done just to make sure that all 50 states were included and not excluded.
Okay. And is it
all right?
But we aren't supposed to discuss the exact process and the details on how it's done on the radio.
All right.
So you should contact the lead person in your state, or send us an email so we can connect you with the lead person.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That sounds good.
Thank you. Thank you, Robin.
You bet.
Okay, our next caller that we have, moving right along here, is Vicki. Vicki is calling from Albuquerque. Vicki, you're up, hon.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for all you've done. Drake, Terry, quick question. Drake, you alluded earlier in the show today that more than likely there would be problems in areas of different towns or cities that are more poverty-stricken. Would you suggest those of us that live in the edge of these areas go and be with family after the announcement is made that things are going to happen so that we can protect one another without causing problems?
Pretty much the plan is such that the first responders, these are people that handle emergency situations, as I understand it, will be positioned in such a fashion as to both commingle and insulate to as much of a confined area as possible people who would want to be destructive. Now, I'm going to express this so that everybody gets it. It is not cool to be a rioting, destructive individual. The people that you are rioting and being destructive with live in the same neighborhoods generally. They own the little stores, and all you're doing is screwing your neighbor. Now, the other part is that if you go and destroy a whole bunch of stuff, it ain't going to be there to buy when everything settles back down again. Now, the other part is this, and you need to really pay attention to it. There have been federal reparations or repairs or rebuilding of rioted areas. This may not be as such available for some time if this was to happen. So you might want to take that into consideration. It might be nice to have a gas station or a grocery store in your neighborhood instead of doing it. So that's basically where that's at.
Okay, I appreciate the answer, Drake, but in other words, I live in a fringe area where there is more poverty than in other parts in the town. So would it be intelligence advantageous for us to move closer or be with family that is in a different area of town?
You can do that if you feel that it's necessary. The thing you have to remember is that this is designed according to the plan and will be backed up by whatever force necessary in order to make it a seamless, no chaotic, no rioting, no gunfiring, peaceful transition. There's a big difference when I would applaud if I was a person that had serious financial problems in a poor area of a city, seeing the idiots get dragged away that put me in that position. So,
right.
if you want to take the right look at it, that's it. Basically, these people did that to you on purpose, and now they get to go play FEMA camp refugee and see how they like it.
Well, we'll be cheering for that. Another quick question. or actually an observation on my part.